Hello, Nancy. Very good. How about you? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now better? Can you hear me now better? Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear? Yes, very low. Hello? It's still low? It's still low? Huh? Very low. Can you? It's still very low? Yeah, can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me now? You can hear me clear better now. Let's do our chanting before we start our meditation. If you are following our chanting book, you can turn to page number 5. Salutation to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. The three refuges. Buddhang saranang gacchami Dhammang saranang gacchami Sanghang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. The five precepts. Panati pata vemani sikkhapadang samadhiyami adinādana vemani sikkhapadang samadhiyami kāmesu miccācara vemani sikkhapadang samadhiyami musāvāda vemani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Suramēraya majñya pamādakkhāna vemani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Let's read the affirmative vows based on the five precepts. Being aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of all living beings. Being aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, stealing, and oppression, I vow to respect the property of others and to practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. Being aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to respect my commitments and those of others. I am determined not to engage in relations without love and a long-term commitment. Being aware that words can create suffering, I vow to learn to speak truthfully and develop peaceful, kind, and meaningful speech. Being aware of the suffering that an intoxicated and agitated mind can produce, I vow to develop mindfulness and heedfulness.
Homage to the Buddha. Iti
Piso
piso
bhagava
bhagava
arahang
samma
samma
sambuddho
viඤ්ඤාචරණ
sampanno
සුගතෝ
lokvidu
අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්මසාරති සත්තාදේව මනුස්සානං බුද්ධෝ භගවාති.
Homage to the Dhamma.
ස්වාක්ඛාතෝ භගවතා ධම්මෝ සම්දිත්තිකෝ අකාලිකෝ ඒහි පස්සිකෝ ඕපනයිකෝ පච්චත්තං වේදිතබ්බෝ විඤ්ඤුයේති.
Homage to the Sangha.
සුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ උජුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ ඥාය පටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ සාමීචි පටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ යදිදං චත්තාරි පුරිස යුගානි අත්ථ පුරිස පුංගලා ඒස භගවතු සාවක සංඝෝ ආහුනියෝ පාහුනියෝ දක්ඛිනියෝ අංජලි කරණියෝ අනුත්තරං පුඤ්ඤක්ඛෙත්තං ලෝකස්සාති.
Sadhu,
සාදු සාදු.
offering of light.
ඝන සාරප්පවිත්තේන දීපේන තමතං සිනා තිලෝක දීපං සම්බුද්ධං පූජයාමි කමුතං.
Offering of incense.
ගන්ධ සම්භාරයුත්තේන දූපේනහං සුගන්ධිනා පූජයේ පූජනීයං තං පූජා භාජන මුත්තමං.
Offering of flowers.
වන්න ගන්ධ ගුණෝපේතං ඒතං කුසුම සන්තතින් පූජයාමි මුනිං දස්ස සිරිපාද සරෝරුහි පූජේමි බුද්ධං කුසුමේන නීනේ පුඤ්ඤේ ปังวิลายาติยถาริดัมมีกายโยตัตตายาติวินาศบัง
Offering of water.
อาดิวาเสตุโนบันติปานิยังปาริคัปปิตังอนุกัมปังอุปาดายปฏิกันหาตุตมะ
Offering of drinks.
อาดิวาเสตุโนบันติกิลานปัจเจยังอิมังอนุกัมปังอุปาดายปฏิกันหาตุตมะ
Worship of shrines.
วันดามิเจติยังสัพพังสัพเพทานิสุปฏิทิตังสาริริกธาตุมหาโพธิบุตตรูปังสักลังสักา
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Wish of well-being.
นิเยมันจันเตนามัสเสยังนามัสเสมานุ
รัต
อัต
เต
เตนันเตยังยังปุญญาภิสังฆังวิปุลังอรัตตังตัสสานุภาเวนิหตันเตราโย
Reflections on the teachings of the Buddha in English.
Mind is the forerunner of all experiences. Mind is chief. Mind made are they. If one speaks or acts with an pure mind, suffering follows like the wheel that follows the foot of the ox. Mind is the forerunner of all experiences. Mind is chief. Mind made are they. If one speaks or acts with a pure mind, happiness follows like one's own shadow that never leaves. Generosity, kind words, benevolent actions towards others, and equanimity towards all beings and all things. These bonds of sympathy function in the world like the link between a moving heart. One by one, little by little, moment by moment, wise people should remove their impurities as the smith removes the dross from silver. For one who mindfully develops boundless loving kindness, mental defilements are weakened and the freedom from clinging is seen. All conditioned things are impermanent, When one sees with this wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path to purification. All conditioned things are unsatisfactory. When one sees with this wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path to purification. All things are not self. When one sees with this wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path to purification.
Excellent.
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 Excellent. Welcome everyone for this evening meditation. It is so precious opportunity that we all have got to sit together and engage in this wholesome practice. It is rare to find an assistant and help to grow spiritually. Many conditions around us are not always leading us towards a spiritual growth. But right now, you are fortunate enough to have many conditions that will help you, assist you to grow spiritually. So rejoice this moment that we have this wonderful gathering and we all are sitting together to do the same practice. So we are sitting by ourselves, but we are being supported by many and we are connected to many right now at this moment. So rejoice this moment, rejoice this your decision to practice, your effort to sit with us today. With that rejoice, make a determination that I will engage in this wholesome practice wholeheartedly. I will make use of this opportunity. I will make use of this guidance and I will engage in a committed practice. Make that determination now. With this determination, let us now do our chant to gather our attention to the present moment. Let us listen to the bell first to gather our attention, and then we will do our chant Namo Buddhaya. And at the end of the chant, Bhante Punna will help us to practice loving kindness meditation and meditation on breathing. Buddhaya.
Spiritual friends, now we will practice meditation. In meditation, we practice loving kindness and we practice mindfulness. Metta Bhavana, cultivation of loving kindness. directing our mind towards the wholesomeness, guiding our awareness to the wholesome thought. We practice this meditation. We always relax our body, keep our body comfortably and nicely before we guide our mind towards the wholesomeness. It is always very important to keep the body nicely, and it is very helpful first to relax the body. We will draw our attention to our body and observe. You can notice that you are sitting in a very special posture, keeping your upper body upright as much as possible, closing your eyes gently, relaxing and placing the both palms on the lap on your thighs, placing both legs nicely. You are sitting in a meditative posture. Be happy about your posture. Becoming so happy about the preparation of the body. Now we draw our attention from the top of the head to the tips of the toes and scan the entire body and feel the feelings of the body. You can feel the very subtle sensations of the body. In different areas of the body, you can notice different sensations. In some areas of the body, we have pressure, tightness, and pains and aches. Sometimes we have chronic pains in certain areas of the body. Whatever you feel them. By making ease and comfortable, by relaxing the body, we can relax and release so called tension, pressure, and tightness. Even we can just let go the chronic pains in the body. Draw your attention to each and every parts of the body and feel and relax, relax, relax. You can take a deep breath and feel how the chest muscles are expanding, the tummy muscles are expanding by filling the lungs with air. Very gently and slowly release the air. Feel the relaxation and the contraction of the body. Feel and relax and relax. Inviting gentle smile onto the face, we feel the relaxation of the facial muscles. To bring the relaxed, pleasant thoughts into our mind, we remember a baby, a happy baby, looking at you, having a beautiful smile. It is the nature that we automatically prepare our facial muscles to express our kindness, our appreciation, joy, and beautiful smiling facial expressions towards the baby. Feel the gentle smile. Feel the gentleness of the smile travel all over the body and relax. If you are having still any sort of tightness, pain on the muscles, feel them and draw your attention directly to those areas and relax, relax, relax. Relax your body. Relax your body. Relax your body. Very mindfully, thoughtfully, you are relaxing your body. Relax. With the relaxation of the body, we will let body to be in this relaxed posture and draw our attention to the thoughts in our mind. Thoughts. We have thoughts in our mind. Thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. Some thoughts are occurring with the memories of the past and the plans and the hopes with the future. If you are having any regretful thoughts for the past, remind yourself the past is gone. At the same time, do not forget the past is the full of lessons that you have learned by doing mistakes. The lessons will help you to avoid the mistakes and to be a better person. By letting go the pressure, tension, and any unpleasantness of the past, you relax your mind. Same way, sometimes we are anxious with the plans for the future. Notice the future is not yet come true. It is okay to have good plans for the future, but not to become anxious. And relax. Let them go and relax. Bring your full awareness to the present moment, right now, right here. Use this precious moment to cultivate your mind with the wholesome thoughts. We guide our mind towards the wholesomeness and cultivate wholesome thoughts in our mind purposely. Those wholesome thoughts will protect us from the danger and also the wholesome the thoughts in the mind helps to relax the body and reduce the tension in the body and the mind. The reduction of the stress and the tension in the mind and body is very important. The ultimate goal of our life is to experience the happiness. Our happiness is not in the future, our happiness is right now, right here. Expose yourself truly to the real happiness. To expose to the real happiness, we cultivate wholesome thought. Our wholesome thought is loving kindness. At the beginning, it seems like very simple, but the loving kindness is not simple if you are able to cultivate to the ultimate level. The
The loving kindness itself is enough to maintain the supreme happiness throughout the life. We cultivate loving kindness in our mind like a mother who takes care of her only baby. We maintain loving kindness in our mind truly. Observe your true loving kindness in your mind. Loving kindness will appear in your mind like forgiving thoughts because sometimes there might be some mistakes done for you and just forget about them and forgive them. There are reasons to maintain the appreciations without hesitation. Practice appreciation. Compassion, tolerance, generosity, and all those great qualities are also the supportive thoughts for the loving kindness. Experience the loving kindness, well wishing thoughts in your mind. We will use our loving kindness to heal our mind and relax our mind. The loving kindness also can heal the body. Spread the loving kindness throughout the body and feel the loving kindness. The loving kindness can heal the body. We deeply appreciate this body. We deeply appreciate each and every parts and organs of the body and the activities in the body. We deeply appreciate and extend the loving kindness towards them. Feel the loving kindness mentally and physically. Be well, be well, be well. We can practice boundless loving kindness by sharing our loving kindness with everybody and all, with all beings. First, we will share our loving kindness with our spiritual friends who practice loving kindness. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. And also, we will share our loving kindness with our family members, relatives, and friends, near and far. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be peaceful. Expand your loving kindness to the people in the neighborhood, in the neighboring neighborhood, the city, neighboring cities, the county, neighboring counties, throughout the state, neighboring states, throughout the country, neighboring countries, throughout the world. May all people be well, be healthy, be healthy. May all people be healed, be healthy. Also share your loving kindness with all beings, all the animals, in all different sizes. May all beings be well. In the direction of your front, in the direction of your back, in the direction of your left and right, above and below. May all beings be well. May all beings be well. May all beings be well. Feel the loving kindness within. Feel the happiness of the loving kindness. Feel the relaxation, the softness of the loving kindness. Feel the loving kindness and settle on your loving kindness. Maintain your awareness on loving kindness. You have directed thoughts towards the loving kindness. You have the sustained thoughts in the loving kindness. You have rapture and pleasure on loving kindness. You have the one pointedness towards the loving kindness. That because the loving kindness is getting bigger and bigger, all the other thoughts are getting smaller and smaller and disappear. But the loving kindness is growing and growing and growing. Therefore, the loving kindness has become the prominent, predominant thought in your mind. Experience the loving kindness mentally and physically. And relax. Practice loving kindness silently, thoughtfully. Practice loving kindness. Be well. Be well. Be well. with the awareness of the loving kindness. Now we will draw our attention to the breathing in and out. Practice breathing meditation. Feel the breathing in and out. And maintain the awareness on the natural breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in mindfully. Breathe out mindfully. Observe the breathing in and out. It's a vital, present activity in the body, which you can feel very well. We keep a close awareness onto this natural breath. And you can notice the subtle changes of the breath. We sharpen our awareness and notice the subtle changes of the breath. There you can see the long breaths and short breaths. You can experience the whole body breath. The oxygenated air travel through the nostrils, fill the lungs, through the alveolus, through the capillaries. Oxygenated molecules diffuse to the lung, the blood cells, the oxygenated blood cells pressure up with the heart muscles and travel all over the body and energize the cells in the body. Decaying deoxygenated Air molecules travel back through the lungs. We release the warm air. Feel your entire body. Experience the whole body breath. You can notice and experience the calm down body breath. The vagus nerves activated in the body, and you experience great relaxation physically. Only the subtle activity, breathing in and out, is going on. The muscles are relaxing. Breathing in and out is relaxing. Experience the calm down body breath. And understand the changing, constantly changing, changing, changing. Just relax and notice the impermanence.
Nidukha Bhayapatantache Nibbhaya Sukapatantache Nisuka Hontu sabbepi panino. May all those who are suffering be free from suffering. May all those who are in fear be free from fear. May all those who are grieving be free from grief. May all beings be well and happy. Gently come out of the meditation and gently put your palms together and place them against your chest. Take a moment to feel grateful for this opportunity for us to have a deep, peaceful meditation in our life. Feel grateful to all great teachers, enlightened masters in the past. Feel grateful to anyone who helped our meditation tonight. Feel grateful to anyone who stayed without disturbing our meditation. And feel grateful even to these non-living things which help our meditation, including the device that helped us to connect to this meditation, and to this bell, to chair, the cushion, and everything. Deeply feel grateful to all people, all things that made this meditation possible for us today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends, I hope that it was really deep meditation tonight. Right, Bante? It was really deep meditation. Yes, thank you. So after this deep meditation, we really calmed everything down. We refreshed everything. So for our discussion today, I thought to share with you one important statement of the Buddha, and that can be quite relevant to what is happening these days. And this is about arguing with others. Arguing with
Arguing
yes,
with others.
arguing with others. Is it familiar to you? argument with others. Arguing with others, right? It's a quite familiar thing, right? So we quite often do, and I mean, usually we argue with people we always live with, right?
But sometimes once we have a problem,
Yes.
when we are arguing,
Yeah.
we get angry. Then we stop the argument.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point, but I'll come to that.
Oh,
Yeah, when
okay.
we argue, we get angry, right?
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Yes, interesting thing, and particularly, during these days, there are many issues to argue about.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, we are in a pandemic situation. People have different perception about that, and of course, and we are also in an election year, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so there are a lot to argue about, and also even though even though those things are not around us, but it's still, even for many things like what to buy in the shop, and for even like for daily issues, it is possible that we may argue. Um, so this is what the Buddha said. This is a very interesting sutra called Sermon, the flower sutta, flower sermon. Because at the end of this sutta, Buddha talks about flower, little water. It's called flower sermon. But in that sutta, Buddha said that, monks, I do not argue with the world.
Oh.
Rather, it is the world that argues with me. A proponent of the Dhamma does not argue with anyone in the world. Okay, let me read it again. I do not argue with the world. Rather, it is the world that argues with me. A proponent of the Dhamma, which means a follower of the Dhamma, does not argue with anyone in the world. So this is the statement of the Buddha. So Buddha said that Buddha do not really want to argue with anyone, but of course there were some few incidents that some famous debaters came to the Buddha, and then
And
had
sometimes they send their
the
students to
students
the
also, and they invited
Yeah.
and they invited the Buddha to have a debate. There are few incidents Buddha engaged in, not really I mean, of course, and in the middle, Buddha converted all these debates into kind of conversation and dialogue. um so but so Buddha said that I do not argue with the world, and even if there were cases that there are moments of debate, and that is the others really wanted to get uh, to argue with the Buddha. But importantly, Buddha also said that a follower of the Dhamma does not argue with anyone in the world. So now now so this is what the Buddha expects from us, right? And Buddha said that I am not arguing with the world, and follower of the Dhamma also does not argue with the world, argue with anyone. Can we live without arguing? What do you think, Bante? Can we live without arguing?
I think
Because sometimes we have to express how we feel. We have to express what we value.
yeah.
We have to express what we believe.
And sometimes we want to convince. So,
Yes. So can we really live without arguing? Because sometimes I mean, there could be a situation that we really want to tell other people uh, what we think as um, plausible, what we think as good.
we start the argument with the views. Is that right?
Yes, definitely with views. I think what we need to understand here is that telling telling others what we like, or telling others what we believe, informing others what we believe, may not need to be an argument, right?
Mhm.
So I think so. Argument is a particular stage in the conversation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So so we start with maybe we start with a friendly conversation, and it will may go to a dialogue, and we may start to talk about certain issue, and when we arguing is a specific way of expressing uh, our 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 beliefs, right? So I think what Buddha is saying that I do not argue with the world, and follower of the Dhamma does not argue with anyone. That doesn't mean that we don't talk with anyone, right?
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that we don't converse with anyone. But I think the whole the argument happens, as Bante mentioned, when we want to defend a particular view, right? And when you want to defend a particular view, and when we come to argue, the moment of the level of arguments, actually is and sometimes arguments are quite logical, right? We want to like prove something, right?
Yeah.
We want to prove something, so arguments appear to be very logical. But when you
With
raise
the
the
facts
yeah,
and
with
the
the
reason.
facts, we want to provide all the evidence to say that buying this particular brand is not good, not appropriate. So we want to provide all
Yeah.
the conditions, or maybe and that particular person is not honest, so we want to provide all the conditions, all the evidence. So when we come to an argument, we try to argue, we try to provide condition evidence. It looks like logical, but
Sometimes when somebody try to find some facts and evidences,
yeah,
the argument may be something very simple thing.
yes,
Then the facts and the example they take,
yeah,
they create another problem.
another argument.
Another argument.
So one to the other.
Yeah.
So I think this is the issue, Bante. Although arguments sound very logical, very reasonable, very intellectual, when we reach to the level of argument, it's emotional.
It becomes emotion.
Emotional. I think the reason that we want to be logical is just to show
That's
our,
why
our
we
point.
feel some irritation,
Irritation, I should say anger.
anger.
It's quite ironical, because
Yeah.
in an argument we want to be logical, but actually when we reach to the point of argument, we already have become emotional, because we want to defend a particular viewpoint. We already create an ownership to that viewpoint.
Mm.
We feel like it's my point, or my point, maybe my preference. So we have created an attachment to particular view, particular position, and now you are going to defend it. And whoever argue against it, you feel like that person is attacking you, because you have created an attachment.
Personify. with
Yeah,
it.
you have identified,
Identity.
create an identity with that particular position, particular view, and whoever talk against that position, you feel
So
like
you
that person is
imply
attacking you.
identity into the view,
View,
and so attaching.
attaching to
Then
it.
how about the man or conceit?
Definitely, Bandi. Yeah. So when we reach the point of argument, rather than conversation, or maybe try to express ourselves, and when you reach the point of argument, and then we want to defend our point, and then whoever argues against it, we get angry because
And then we raise our voice.
voice, yeah, because of our conceit. Because we conceit means that we feel like that person is attacking me, and then we feel like offended. The reason that we feel offended is because of the conceit.
I read that kind of arguments, Bante, when you reach to the irritation and slowly to the anger. It's like I heard that it's like two ships are passing each other in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Then
dark.
in the dark,
In the dark,
yeah,
they are passing each other. They don't see each other.
each other,
It's like passing each other without seeing.
seeing each other.
So because then we lose our proper awareness.
Yeah. When you become emotional and I want to
That's why
argue, yeah.
then
Yeah, I think the reason that Buddha said that Buddha do not want to argue with the world, Buddha do not argue with the world, because I think when we want to argue with someone to prove a case, or to teach someone something, it defeats the purpose, because there's no way that we will argue with someone and convince that person to believe what we believe. Because the moment we start to argue, the other person also becomes
and
defensive.
it is not a good
Good way to come-
educational approach.
Yeah, I think the reason for the Buddha to say that I don't argue with the world is that it's not fruitful. If,
And
if we really want someone to understand what we think as right, arguing with that person is not going to do it.
that's right. In the discourses, when someone comes to the Buddha to argue purposely,
Yeah.
Buddha very slowly change his path and both and start a dialogue
Dialogue
and
and
a
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah. Yes, I think that is what we need to understand. I think sometimes we want to convince the other person about something that we truly believe, and then we think that if I argue more and more, if I argue forcefully, the other person will believe it. That's not going to happen,
No.
because the moment we start to argue, the other person, because it's already in the level of emotions now, and the other person also get defensive, and that person has already closed his mind as like
Yeah.
passing
Yeah.
through the dark,
Yeah.
already closed his or her mind. So there's no way that we can convince the other person by simply arguing our point. I think that is why Buddha, I think that is one reason that there's no way that we can convince anyone by simply arguing. We can come back and slow our conversation, and maybe we listen to the other person, we change our language, we change the tone of our language, and then other persons will listen. And we can try, actually we can try, we can try saying the same thing. We can start to argue with someone and try to convince the other person, see whether that works. Or you can say the same thing but not as an argument. Maybe you give a suggestion, other person give a different viewpoint. You don't try to blame that person, you don't try to like ridicule that person's all this different viewpoint. Okay, I think you have a point, but how about this? And you present your case again, then in a different tone, and that is how we can actually convince anyone, not by arguing.
Yeah.
So I think Buddha was quite smart, skillful. So the reason that he did not want to argue with the world, and he encouraged us not to argue with anyone, because that defeats the purpose. Arguing is not helping us to do what we want to do. And as if you really want someone to believe someone's position or viewpoint, the best thing is to argue against it. Then that person will cling to that view more and more and more, and he will find more and more evidence to like
And
prove his case, right?
become more defensive.
Yeah. If you really want someone to believe in certain thing, you better argue against it.
Then
Then
he start to
he will try to cling to
grab
that.
that and
Yes.
cling it. Yeah.
He will never listen to our point and try to change his viewpoint. Argument is not going to do that.
Yeah, sometimes Bhante, sometimes we also in arguments. Sometimes we feel that my view is not correct; it is wrong.
Mm.
In
the middle of the conversation.
But we don't like to accept it. Right?
That's right. That's
Yes.
the
Although
though it
in our
is
mind, in the back of our mind, we know that
Yeah.
I'm wrong, but it's still now it's
Yes.
become like my position,
Yeah.
my viewpoint. Now I have to defend myself.
Sometimes then we can come to the end of the conversation like this. Yes, that is what I am also saying.
Towards the end.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I think it's about being smart in communicating our viewpoint, and also being smart of saving or of the peace of our mind. Sometimes when we start an argument with someone just to prove a certain point, because we become emotional, our relationships become quite sore, quite fragile.
Yeah.
And then after that, we feel the pain and sometimes regrets or pains for few hours, even few days. So having this understanding that arguments are fruitless, useless. They are not really doing any benefit. And so knowing about that is also, it does not convince anyone, and also it does not um, it's not helpful for our peace of our mind. So in order to keep the peace of our mind, and in order also to fruitfully, skillfully convey our message to someone, we should find other ways.
There should be a kind of understanding in both parties who are having arguments
Yeah,
to stop
conversation.
that and come
Yeah,
into the
at least
discussions
as
and
a
the
followers
conversation.
of the Dhamma, if we have that understanding that
As a
whenever we
part,
reach the point of argument, that's not going to do any good.
any good,
No matter
yeah.
how skillfully, how good, how well I argue, no matter how much evidence I provide, the other person is not going to listen to us, because already at the level of emotions, already in the defensive mode. There's no way. So better, okay, in those cases, we better step back skillfully, step
Mm.
back first to preserve our relationship and also to keep our peace of the mind, and also finding another opportunity to
Provide any
provide
so
prove our case
yeah.
in a different way, not at the level of
If you
argument.
have enough evidence, then you can go
Yeah,
ahead.
maybe the next day you can bring the same topic again in a different way, like
Instead of quarreling and blaming each other
each other,
and
instead of
this.
continuing the argument, maybe we can, okay,
Okay,
maybe
let's see.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's, yeah, maybe I understand you.
Yeah.
I understand you,
Yeah.
although you are wrong, I understand you. I understand your emotions. I understand you. And
Actually, I think although you are when you are saying although you are wrong, it's better to say that although I feel that you are wrong, something like that.
yeah, because
It's more
we have
friendly
to
and
understand the
more
emotions of the other
yeah,
person, and then okay,
because we have to have some
yeah,
respect for
respect
the
to
other
the
part. So
other person.
it
Yeah,
seems I feel that you are wrong, but it's still
I
okay.
respect your
I
viewpoint.
respect, and we will go ahead and
Yeah,
then actually you
actually
are exploring something.
exploring, yes. And when we bring the same thing in a different time, maybe with a different tone, maybe the other person will be open to accept it. Yes. And sometimes we also cannot say that our point is always correct, right? Yeah. So we
I think the best way is not directly say that you are wrong.
yeah.
That's what I'm
Not
also
yes,
yes,
not
yeah.
not accept and not reject. That
Yeah.
how that Panchakanga did.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
not
yeah.
fully accepting and
Accepting,
also
not
not rejecting
reject.
his point. Okay, let's consider it more later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So I think so that's why Buddha did not want to argue with the world, and also ask the followers, the Dhamma, to not to argue with anyone. Of course, we can converse, we can have a dialogue, we can talk and discuss, but whenever it reaches the point of argument with emotions, and you better step back and try another time.
It is not really losing yourself,
Yes,
and
yeah, definitely. It's not really losing. And Buddha said that,
it's a
and
kind of
if we can have such a control, and you are winning a very important game. Yes, if you have such a control, like not to
okay,
yeah,
and
yeah,
see.
control of your your emotions, and then uh, make a decision to speak about that later. Okay, so I would like to maybe uh, allow our friends who are joining from Skype to ask any question if they have any.
About any arguments.
Yeah, maybe we can start an argument. If you don't agree with me, you can you can express in. Let's see how we can manage that. Yeah. Anything you'd like to share?
It's a comment by Dana.
Dana.
We like to say we can agree to disagree.
Yeah. Thank you, Dana, for your comment. Yes, we can agree to disagree. Yeah, that's a good way to slow down an argument, and maybe pause. I mean, um, and stop an argument, and talk about the issue in a different time. Agree to disagree. Yes. So, any thoughts, any sharing you'd like to contribute? Do we have experience of arguing? Have you ever been successful?
Hello?
Yes. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Adrian. Good to hear from you. I wish you good health. We wish you. We have been chanting for you. Go ahead. Yes.
Thank you so much. And I just want to share a couple of practices that I have when it comes to arguing and
Okay.
argument.
Okay.
And these are just kind of little shorthand methods that I have to grab a hold of. But there's a phrase that I use, which is that was taught to me, which is "You may be right. You may be right."
Oh, you may be right. Oh, that's
Oh,
you
that's
may
a
be
good
right. You
praise.
may be
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's
To
a good
continue,
praise.
continue.
Yeah, that's a good praise.
And then there's also something I try to keep in mind, which is I don't have to go to every argument that I'm invited to. And
Okay.
I'm invited to arguments all the time. And
Oh,
sometimes I choose to go. And I forget that I don't have to go. I have a choice to make.
oh, that's a good point. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, maybe in a family environment it can be a little challenging, but let's say when you're among friends, sometimes someone want to talk about a particular issue, a controversial issue, right? And so somebody make a comment like in as a way of inviting you to argue, right? Then you can make a choice whether I really want to step into this argument or whether I want to like go away, right? Yeah, I think that's a good point. That's a good choice to make, to keep the peace of the mind. Sometimes there are certain issues that we really want to like, help people to understand and maybe contribute our viewpoints, but sometimes certain issues are not really important. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Adrian. That's a good point. Yes. Okay. Is there anyone who like to share their experience or ask a question? Okay, so let me read another statement from the Buddha, and yeah, also there's a particular sutta on arguments. So we can study that later. It's a really very important sutra on the arguments, on disputes, kalaha vivada, disputes and arguments, right? So sutta on the disputes and arguments. So yeah, we can study that whole sutra in a different day. But in that particular discourse, Buddha says that a wise person understands that people are attached to their views. He empathizes with them, and then he does not go to argue with them. Realizing the origin of views and danger of attaching to views, the wise person does not go to argue with others. Hmm. So I think that sums up the whole point why we don't want to argue with anyone. Hmm. Okay, so it's about being skillful, how we want to communicate with others, how we want to convey our message to others, and always try to stay below the emotional level. And also, it's about being skillful in keeping the peace of the mind, because that is the most precious, important thing in our life. Winning an argument may not bring so much to us, but keeping the relationship and keeping the peace of our mind can be so beneficial. Right? Yeah. So let us learn this lesson today. So thank you very much for your participation. Let us now move to the other part of the program. Um, that is, let us now share the merits and dedicate the merits to everyone, and turn to page number 14. So by doing this practice together, and dedicating our body, speech, and mind for this practice, we have generated so much goodness, so much merits, so much good energy, good karma in our hearts. Let us now generously share this merits, dedicate this merits to everyone else. First of all, let us recall to our mind our departed relatives, our family members, our people, forefathers, people who helped us so much in our life who are no more with us today. Let us be grateful to all of them and share these merits with every one of them. May all of our departed family members, relatives share these merits. May they benefit from these merits. May they be well and happy wherever they may be. Idang mi ñātinang hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang mi ñātinang hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang mi ñātinang hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Let us also share these merits with all other living beings. If there's any living being in this world who would like to share this merit, may he or she do so. May all living beings share our merits. May all living beings be well, happy, and peaceful. Ettavata ammi sambhatam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattha anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Wish for the well-being of the world in English. May the weather be pleasing. May the people prosper in their lives. May there be peace and happiness in the world. May the rulers be righteous. May all those who are suffering be free from suffering. May all those who are in fear be free from fear. May all those who are in grief be free from grief. May all beings be well and happy. Aspiration. May this wholesome act quicken the liberation of my mind from mental defilements. By virtue of this wholesome act, may I never follow the unwise people. May I associate with good people until I attain Nibbana. Purification. If by body, speech, or mind I have carelessly done wrong, I acknowledge them all in front of the Tathagata of great wisdom and determine to be hateful. Okay, now let us do our blessing service. And we are going to chant the Loving Kindness Sutra for all of you. And this particular sutra was given by the Buddha with great compassion for all sentient beings. And we are going to chant the same original sutra for you, focusing on you, wishing you good health, peace, and happiness. So we will chant this Loving Kindness Sutra with unbound loving kindness continuously radiating towards all of you. And we wish that may you receive the blessings of the great compassion of the Buddha. May you receive the blessings of these wholesome vibrations. And may you receive the blessings of the loving kindness we are radiating now. And with these blessings, may you be protected, may you be safe, may you be blessed with good health and stronger immunity. And particularly today, we also want to extend our blessings to Adrian, who is still recovering from her surgery, and also to her mom, who is in the hospital right now. We think about her and wishing her good health, wishing her recovery and healing. And you may also recall to your mind whoever you want to share these blessings with. May all of you receive these blessings. May all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස කරණීය මත්ත කුසලේන යන්තං සන්තං පදං අபிසමිච්ච සක්කෝජෝච සෝජෝච සුවචෝ චස්ස මුදු අනතිමානී සන්තොස්සකෝච සුභරෝච අප්පකිච්චෝච සල්ලහුකවොත්ති සන්ත්‍රින්ද්‍රියෝච නිපකෝච අප්පගම්බෝ කුලේසු අනනුගෙද්දෝනච කොද්දං සමාචරේ කිංචියේන විඤ්ඤෝ පරේ උපවදෙයොම් සුඛිනෝ වාකේ මිනෝ හොන්තු සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා ඒකේචිපාන භූතන්ති තසාවාතාවරාවා අනවසේසාදීගාවායේ මහන්තාවා මජ්ජිමාරස්සකානුකතුලා දිත්තාවායේව අද්දිත්තායේච දුරේ වසන්ති අවිදුරේ භූතාවා සම්භවේ සීවා සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තාන පරෝ පරඤ්ඤිකුම්බේත නාති මඤ්ඤේත කත්ත චිනං කංචේ ව්‍යාරෝසනා පටිඝ සංඥානඤ්ඤ මඤ්ඤස්ස දුක්ඛමිච්ඡේය මාතායතානියං පුත්තං ආයුසා ඒක පුත්ත මනුරක්ඛේ එවං පිසම්බ භූතේසු මාන සංභාවයේ අපරිමාණං මෙත්තං ච සම්බ ලෝකස්මින් මාන සංභාවයේ අපරිමාණං උන්දං අදෝච තිරියං ච අසංබාදං අවේරං අසපත්තං දෙත්තං චරං නිසින්නෝ වාසයානෝ වායාවතස්ස විගතමින්දෝ හේතං සතින් අදිත්තේය බ්‍රහ්මමේතං විහාරං ඉදමාහෝ දෙත්තිං ච අනුපගම්ම සීලවා දස්සනේන සම්පන්නෝ කාමේසු විනය්‍ය ගේදං නහි ජාතු ගබ්බසෙයං පුනරේති තේන සච්ච වඤ්ඤේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සම්බදායේතේන සච්ච වඤ්ඤේන සම්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු හේතේන සච්ච වඤ්ඤේන හෝතු තේ ජය මංගලං සබ්බේතියෝ විවජ්ජන්තු සම්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු මාතේ භවත්වන්තරායෝ
sukhi dīgāyuko bhava bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabba sanghanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu
Let us spend a moment of reflection. Let us recall to our mind whatever kind deed we were able to do during last few days. Think about past few days and a moment that we were able to be kind to someone. We were able to help someone. Let us rejoice these moments of kindness that we were able to have. On this day
on this day
or in the past,
or in the past,
if I have done kind deeds
if I done kindly
to other beings, with my body, speech, or mind,
with my body, speech, or mind,
whether great or little,
with a great little,
here before the Buddha,
here before the Buddha,
I call to mind
I call to mind
those kind deeds,
those kind deeds,
and let my heart rejoice.
and let my heart rejoice.
I rejoice in those kind deeds,
I rejoice in those kind deeds,
appreciating the opportunity to be helpful to others.
appreciating the opportunity to help others.
I rejoice in those kind deeds,
I rejoice in those kind deeds,
wishing more opportunities to practice compassion.
wishing more opportunities to practice
I
compassion.
rejoice in those kind deeds,
I rejoice in those kind deeds,
resolving not to compare myself with others.
resolving not to compare myself with others.
I rejoice in those kind deeds,
I rejoice in those kind
and
deeds,
gladly share this joy with all beings everywhere.
and gladly share this being here.
May my kind deeds
May my kind deeds
relieve the burdens of other beings.
relieve the burdens of other beings.
May my kind deeds
May my kind deeds
shield me from all dangers and pain.
shield me from all dangers and
May my kind deeds
may my kind deeds
and merits that come from them
and the merits that come from
help
them
me in freeing my heart.
help me in freeing my heart.
Let us now recall to our mind whatever kindness we receive from others. During last few days, you may have received some help, some kind concern and care from someone, and think about an actual incident or moment in which you receive some care, some kindness, some kind concern, even some consoling words from someone. Remember, recall those moments right now. Let us rejoice the goodness of others. On this day
On this day
or in the past,
or in the past,
if I have seen or heard
if I've seen or heard
of the kind deeds done by others
of the kind deeds done by others
with their body, speech, or mind,
with their body, speech, or mind,
whether great or little,
whether great or
here
little,
before the Buddha,
here before the Buddha,
I call to mind
I call to
those
mind
kind deeds,
those kind deeds,
and let my heart rejoice.
and let my heart rejoice.
I rejoice in the goodness of others,
I rejoice in the goodness of others,
being always ready to praise kind people
being always ready to praise kind people
and follow their example.
and follow their example.
I rejoice in the goodness of others.
I rejoice in the goodness of others.
Appreciating that there are many good-hearted people in the world.
Appreciating that there are many good-hearted people in the world.
I rejoice in the goodness of others.
I rejoice in the goodness of others.
Expressing gratitude for any kindness done.
Expressing gratitude for any kindness done.
May the kind deeds of others
May the kind deeds of others
bring safety and happiness to many living beings.
bring safety and happiness to many living beings.
May the kind deeds of others
May the kind deeds of others
foster gratitude and fellowship among many living beings.
foster gratitude and fellowship among many living beings.
May the kind deeds of others
May the kind deeds of others
nurture goodness in me
nurture goodness in me
and in many living beings.
and many living beings.
Sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu.
Thank you everyone for joining with us today. It was
Wish
really
you
nice.
good health.
Yes, it was really nice to have you. Yes, it wish you good health. Oh, welcome, Sampi. Sadhu.